You know what I'm going to say? Happy COMFEST! Every year, a volunteer run in the park. We have a great time, music, art, vendors, great food, wonderful time. But one of the things COMFEST always does is honor those in our community who have exceeded expectations. And we also award grants. We've awarded over $675,000 in grants. One of our grants recipients this year was City Music Columbus, and I have Gail here to talk about it.
Hi, COMFEST. How's everybody doing? My name is Gail Carafil, and I represent the Board of Trustees of City Music Columbus. We're an organization that's been around for several decades. In the last couple of years, we have made it our mission to provide professional music instruction and instruments for children who are underserved in our community. The grant from wonderful COMFEST is going to pretty much cover our summer programs, and I can't think of a better fit between City Music and COMFEST, and I'm extremely honored to be here and honored that they would choose us to be a grant recipient this year. If you're interested in helping us out, our website is citymusiccolumbus.org. We're always welcoming volunteers and donations. And I really want to add a personal note to this, that my husband, whose name was Joel Guild, was an original COMFESter, and he actually played in the Mendelssohnics, so we have some deep roots with COMFEST. I funded an endowment in his name to continue giving guitar lessons to children in perpetuity, hopefully. And City Music has made that possible. I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional. But I appreciate COMFEST helping us out. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great COMFEST.
Joan's turn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joan. I'm one of the street fair coordinators. And I have to say that 2024 is the first year that we got it together to get one of our awardees on the stage during the running festival so we could award them here when everyone else is awarded. So this is the 5th time we've done this, but the first time we made it to the award ceremony. So very excited and honored to award our honored street fair vendor. We give this to somebody who just lights us up in some way. And this year, I could not be more excited than to honor my friend, Awa Diop, who you'll find Awa in front of the statue, always brightly colored, always a smile on her face. And she has seen my children grow up and is always lavishing them with praise and gifts and love. So, Awa?
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I like COMFEST very, very, very much. I like them, and I have to come every year. I try to come every year because I like it. It's my best, you know. Thank you very much. Thank you, COMFEST. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to switch it back to the grants recipients this year. Next, I have Tracy from ETSS, Ethiopian, and I'm going to mess it up, Tewada Social Services.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out, and I'd like to thank COMFEST for this very generous grant. Funny story, I was asked to give a speech, and I had no idea there'd be so many people, so it's kind of wild to me. ETSS Tewahedo Social Services works with new Americans to join our community, which is really what COMFEST is all about, community. This money will be used to help human trafficking and domestic violence survivors receive hygiene items, household items, and other much needed things when they leave their situation. Thank you again, COMFEST.
Did you know that grants money is funded by your buying beer? So that funds the entire party. Please remember, don't carry in. This is what keeps us going. Next, I have A from First Collective, which is Community Engagement Programs for Transitional Housing.
Thank you, COMFEST. First Collective is a mutual aid group in Central Ohio that serves unsheltered residents. Funds from these grants are going towards community program at a transitional housing hotel that we help support. The program currently has 30 residents that are working to get permanent housing. We will work with residents to provide programming that fosters community and skill sharing.
Unbelievably necessary work right now. I have Harry next from the Open Shelter. Come on over. Sure.
Let me first say I'm probably the least talented person to ever grace this stage, but we want to thank everyone at COMFEST for helping the Open Shelter. COMFEST has been a partner of ours for many, many years. The Open Shelter has been around for 41 years. COMFEST has been around for 52 years, so hopefully we're making impacts on the community. The Open Shelter, we are a day services shelter and advocacy center for the homeless and marginally housed. So we help homeless and marginally housed men, women, and children each weekday from our facility, which is right down the street on Parsons Avenue. And we are so grateful and thankful that COMFEST has awarded us a grant to help with our state ID and birth certificate program. Those items are so crucial and necessary for the guests that we serve when they're trying to get a job, when they're trying to get medical assistance, when they're trying to get housing. And last year alone, we helped our guests with 178 state IDs and 311 birth certificates. Yeah, so, and the need's growing because I know those numbers are probably going to exceed last year's for this year. So you can see more about what we do at theopenshelter.org. And once again, we are so very, very grateful for what COMFEST has done for us. So thank you, everyone, and happy COMFEST.
Do you see the good work your donations and your beer sales do, affecting the community all over? Next, I have Sakina from Pro-Choice Ohio Foundation. I agree.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sakina. This is Kel. We're actually now known as Abortion Forward. We rebranded a couple weeks ago. But I'm the program coordinator for Patients Advocates, the program that's receiving this grant today. Just to give you a little rundown about what Patients Advocates is, it's abortion patients becoming advocates in the abortion movement. So what we do is we welcome a cohort every year. They start with us. It's a fellowship. It's paid, stipend monthly. We go through lots of gender and sexuality kind of curriculum. Then you get to do a lot of different advocacy workshops. Lots of cool people come in and teach you about all different ways to advocate in the abortion movement. And then finally, you get to do a really amazing capstone project at the end of your time with us. So if you have any questions, come see me. I'll be running around COMFEST for a little bit. And applications for the next cohort are open until July 31st. So, Thank you so much, COMFEST.
Our final grant recipient this year was WCBE, and we have Greg here to talk about it.
Hello, COMFEST. I'm Greg Mobius. I'm the general manager at 90.5 WCBE. Some people mistakenly call me Jim and Harry sometimes. But we'd like to thank the COMFEST Grants Committee and Andy specifically for their generous contribution to our radio station. Their contribution enables us to purchase a piece of equipment called an AV converter. We're going to have that installed in our mixing room that mixes our live from Studio A sessions. And that AV converter will allow us to once again multi-track those sessions. We in turn will give the multi-track file over to one of our student interns who will mix it for a final product to give to the band or to post online. So it not only allows us a more professional experience with our live from Studio A sessions, but it trains our next generation of broadcasters, podcasters, and audio producers. So again, this piece of equipment is vital. We've gone years without having one. We now, thanks to the COMFEST Grants Committee, the funds to purchase this much-needed piece of equipment. So thank you, Andy. Thank you, COMFEST Grants Committee. WCBE, where COMFEST matters. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I lied. I skipped someone. My bad. And this is one of my favorite grant recipients. It's This Must Be the Place. I have Perry and Ingela here. This group is saving lives.
Hello, everyone. I am Perry. This is Ingela, and we are This Must Be the Place. We are also known as the Narcan people with the Corgi mascot. So a couple years ago, we had this idea of just taking Narcan out into the public and getting it to as many folks as possible, whether you use drugs, you don't use drugs, you have people around you that do, or not. You might be able to save a life. COMFEST, when we had that idea, COMFEST was the very first organization in Columbus to say that they believed in what we do. We had only passed out maybe a couple dozen kits at that time. COMFEST said, we believe in what you do. They gave us the grant 2 years ago. They're giving it to us again. It pays for these packets. It helps us provide this medicine. Since that time, we have given out over $3 million worth of free medication, life-saving medication, to folks all around the country. And it started right here in Goodale Park, by y'all going and buying beer. But by COMFEST believing in us, by everyone believing in what we do. We now operate in 23 states. We now have almost 2,000 confirmed overdose reversals. And once again, it all started with the grant that COMFEST gave us. So this means the world to us. Look, we're just a couple of folks that live on the west side. That's it. We just live on the west side. But we get to travel around and we get to meet all of y'all. We get to talk to you. And so many people out there we found care about others and are willing to help others even if they don't know them. And we get to foster that. We just get to be a conduit. Actually, it's all you. It's y'all doing the work. I'm gonna get the heck out of here because of the time. But thank you, everyone. And if you have a chance, we're over there by the lemonade stand. Stop by and give us a high five.
Seeds of change that started right here at COMFEST through a grant, saving lives. It doesn't get any better. Do you know what else doesn't get any better? Voting. It is so important that you vote. I'm not just talking for president. If you're not a registered voter, you cannot sign on a petition for a citizens initiative. Was there a citizens initiative that passed this year? Something about recreational marijuana that was a citizens initiative? I love a citizens initiative. Get registered to vote. Their voter reg is over by information station, because then we can start a new citizens initiative. And I'm thinking rent control. Who's with me? Rent control. Time for a new citizens initiative and a new project for COMFESTers. We're going to go now to our honorees for COMFEST this year. First up, Mr. Michael Weber is going to present.
Hi, everybody. How many people here have heard of the Harmony Project? I'm a fanboy myself. Harmony Project has done exactly what COMFEST does. It has taken citizens out of their chairs and into the streets to do community action. And we this year are honoring the founder of the Harmony Project, David Brown, as our community activist. Many people have given awards to the Harmony Project, but we think it's especially important to do this for David Brown. Accepting for him is Peggy Macklin. You get to wear it.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, COMFEST. As you can see very well, I am not David Brown, but I'm here on his behalf. He is my boss and a friend. If you know anything about David Brown, you know he has a passion for building community. He's being honored for his work building an organization called the Harmony Project. If you know anything about the Harmony Project, you know we have a 500-voice powerhouse chorus. We have programs in state prisons, in schools that serve underserved communities, adults with differing abilities, all over Central Ohio. The whole point of the Harmony Project is in line with what we do at COMFEST here. It's about building community across cultural barriers, bringing people together regardless of how you vote, how you worship, who you love, what you believe, or even if you believe. We use art and music and volunteer service to bring people together. It's all about building community. It's about disrupting the dissonance between us by embracing our differences in order to build social harmony. Look, we live in a very divisive place right now, but there are things we can agree on. So I am going to absolutely implore you and challenge you as COMFESTers who know what community and how important community is to work with people who you don't necessarily believe similarly. Work with them. Even if it just means sweeping sidewalks in your neighborhood, you can usually agree on at least a couple things, like this area needs cleaning up, or this park would do with some more trees, or these kids need a playground. There's not political issues. There are human issues that we can come together on. David Brown's passion is that we as a community do the work we need to do to sew up the rips in this fabric. So I hope you'll take that COMFEST pledge, volunteer at COMFEST, and please clean up after yourself. Thank you.
And now I have Mimi Morris, who is going to present for another one of our honored community orgs, Moms Demand Action.
Hi. This year, we did something different when we set out to honor community organizations. In the past, we've generally honored very small grassroots local organizations. This year, facing a huge, unprecedented, nationwide political crisis, we are honoring two organizations that are local chapters of national organizations who are able, because of those national connections, to be far more effective at educating and lobbying and every other aspect of actual organizing. You don't see them out marching in the streets all that much, although this next group you absolutely will see at every demonstration and every hearing about sensible gun legislation. They show up. They really show up, and you can see them. I had a little note telling me what all their names are, and I dropped it through the crack just before I got up here. So please welcome Moms Demand Action in their collective glory.
Thank you. I'm Rachel. We got Susan, Laura, Michelle, and Deborah joining me here. It's a great honor to be recognized by COMFEST in this way. Those of us doing this work, we don't do it for the recognition. We do this work because our country is experiencing a gun violence crisis. Just last week, the Surgeon General declared gun violence a public health crisis for the first time in our nation's history. It's about time. Survivors of gun violence and those of us doing the work have known this for a long time. An average of 120 people are killed by guns every day in America. Gun violence is the leading cause of death for children and teens in America. And here in our own city, we see gun violence on a daily basis. And just last week, there was yet another mass shooting in the short north, where 10 people were injured, 2 under the age of 18. This should not be the norm. We should not have to live like this. Despite the city's best efforts to address gun violence with common sense gun legislation that over 75% of all Ohioans from every political background support, the city is hamstrung by the state legislature, where the Republican supermajority lacks the will or the courage to say no and stand up to the gun lobby and protect our communities from gun violence. We believe Ohioans are better than this, and we can make change happen. Last August and November, we voted to prevent minority rule and protect women's rights. Now we have the chance to support the citizens, not politicians, petition and vote for the amendment in November when it makes it on the ballot. This will allow for fair redistricting and to end partisan gerrymandering and hold our elected officials accountable to their voters, not their donors. Moms Demand Action continues to do work every day to end gun violence in collaboration with community partners, officials who understand that when we all work together, we can and will save lives from gun violence. There are things that you can do right now to join in this effort. You can support one of our community partners and sign the Under Triple Digits Pledge. This is an initiative started by mothers of murdered Columbus children. These are women who turn their pain into purpose. And they have an initiative for under triple-digit homicides in Columbus in 2024, most of which involve gun violence. In November, vote for all the Gun Sense candidates. You can go to gunsensevoter.org to find all your Gun Sense candidates and find the ones that will help support gun legislation. And finally, you can join Moms Demand Action in this work right now. You can text READY to 64433, and you can be part of this amazing group of folks who are doing the work in Columbus right now. Thank you so much.
I wanted to say about these two groups, them and the next group that are coming up, is that they were also chosen because they prioritize forging coalition, which is incredibly important in this time. And this coalition with Mothers of Murdered Columbus Children is just one example of why. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, moms. So now I'm going to bring up Graham Bowman. He is with the Program Guide Committee, and he's going to talk a minute about his honored community organization, Common Cause Ohio.
Hey everybody, my name is Graham Bowman. I'm just here to talk a little bit about this wonderful organization that is our honored community organization, Common Cause Ohio. It's a great segue from the last group. So you heard about the Citizens Not Politicians Amendment. This organization has been around since the early 70s, fighting for free and fair elections. And they are the ones really doing the legwork to make the Citizens Not Politicians amendment possible. They've collected over 700,000 signatures to get this on the ballot next November. So they've been doing the legwork. They've been fighting for this, these types of initiatives for decades, and I know they're really glad to be honored by this award. So thank you on their behalf.
All right. Thanks for coming out today, COMFEST. We're not done. Next, I want to bring up our honored artist, Michelle Ishida. This is COMFEST's poster child. She's an artist, she's a musician, she has a booth. Come speak about yourself.
Thank you so much. This is such a great honor. My heart is so full of gratitude. I love COMFEST. I've been coming to COMFEST since 1991, either vending, playing in a band, or volunteering. So COMFEST for life, you know, just love it. And thank you, keep the creativity going, and I'm very honored. Thanks.
You get one too.
Oh, I get a medal.
She deserves a tiara. Honored community volunteer, Kate Curry D'Souza. She's amazing. I've had the opportunity to work with Kate through COMFEST on the grants committee. Phenomenal. So much knowledge, so much energy, so organized. I have no idea how she does it. And she volunteers everywhere.
Good afternoon, COMFEST. No, come on, let's have more energy. Good afternoon, COMFEST. All right. Thank you so much for this honor. It's been actually over 2 decades of volunteering here, but let me tell you, it takes one kid who wants to pick up a bunch of crap off the ground for you to become a volunteer just like me. COMFEST makes it easy, but it's also a place where you can continue to put your mark for our community, and you can do more. We can all do more when we do it together, and COMFEST is an example of that, right? You can be COMFEST 365 because you can pitch in for COMFEST all year round. You can help by going over to cleanup and recycling, and you can check in to see where they need help. You can check in with Volunteer Central. It could be a small job, but you can help out and make this festival possible. I'm super honored to be here today, but honestly, I'm really appreciative for the mentorship that I've received here through COMFEST. There's not many places where you can have so many people who've been instrumental in civil rights, in rights for homeless folks and those who are unhoused, and people who are standing up for women's rights over decades of time here in our local community and on the national stage. And that's part of what we do here at COMFEST. So thank you very much for this honor, but please take a pause for the cause, look around your area. I can't let my CNR heart go by without saying something. Look for some trash and find the trash can, you can put it away. Thanks, guys.
All right, come on up, Marty. Aw. Okay, Marty is amazing. He is another one of those volunteers that is everywhere. So tell us how you got started in 2 minutes.
I can do it in less. I started at COMFEST when the very small festival was over here on the moonscape. Started walking around one day, just picking up litter, pouring beer, meeting new people. And I've loved every minute of it now for 30 years. Starts with a volunteer shift. Take 4 hours. Kate said it all. Take 4 hours to walk around the park picking up litter. Take 4 hours to take some money and give people chips. Pour beer, and believe me, you'll meet people that you will fall in love with. You'll meet people who are changing our community, and COMFEST, in my opinion, has truly changed Columbus, Ohio. It's changed it for the better. and the great people that run this festival, all volunteers, day in and day out, 365 days a year, could use your help. We need new folks to be in those meetings from September until this day. Think about a short 4-hour volunteer shift and make it a big part of your life. Thanks so much, and I appreciate everything COMFEST has done for me.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks, COMFEST. COMFEST, remember, all of you out there are COMFEST. Keep buying those tokens, those chips. Don't carry in, and pick up your trash.